That was the transition. Howdy, welcome to NGS Season 9, where tonight my trusty sidekick sOaK is back with me. I love it, especially because I am feeling lost here in this new temporary location where my internet is garbage. So welcome to the slideshow of Avalanche versus sOaK every lane. sOaK, how are you doing?
Good. I'm excited to watch this game in full 60 FPS.
Yes, the game will be in full 60 FPS, and as mentioned in the title, the VOD itself will work out. It will be loaded later. We are going into Cursed Hollow first with Avalanche and sOaK every lane. Please bear with the frame rate. The audio should be fine, and we'll have a fun match. All right, looks like the teams are ready, and we are ready, so let's dive on in. Lots of fun drafting conversation between both teams, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're what are they waiting for?
I don't know. They
Are
said
they
they were
just
ready.
having a good time?
Yeah, I think they're just coking and joking, you know.
Excellent. Well, they poke and joke. We're looking at Avalanche, the 6th place team in B-West, against sOaK every lane, currently the 2nd place team in B-West.
Oh, they moved down. I still only have week 2 stats, so
sOaK every lane is if they win tonight, if they get a single point tonight, they'll tie with Caffeinated Knights. If they get a what's it called? If they win, they'll pass Caffeinated Knights and be back at the top team.
A win
in
at all, or
B-West.
do they need to sweep?
It's 12 to 13 points. So
Okay.
if they get 2, they're winning again.
All right. Yeah. If you'll send me a link for updated power rankings, that'd be awesome. Or whatever it is you're using. You use something different.
Oh, I'm just using straight off the website.
Oh, see, if I were smart enough to do that, I would be the stats guy. All right,
Well,
so
it's a secret sauce I've shared with you.
right, so we are in the Cursed Hollow draft. Likeman, I like Ben drafting, banning for Avalanche, Tornado. How does that go? How does it go, sOaK?
I believe it's pronounced Tornado.
is drafting, banning for sOaK every lane. I'm interested to see what method they use to indeed sOaK every lane.
Yeah, in previous games I've watched from them, they've done an excellent job of really gaining macro pressure. Their name is kind of memey in the font, but it is very true to the way that they play this game.
Tracer comes out as the first ban. Keep in mind, Tracer and Cassia are playable as of this week in NGS. Tracer does have that level 13 talent that is still banned, called something that does something.
Untouchable at level 13.
That's the one.
That causes a bug when you blink around corners. It makes it blink super far.
Huh. That just sounds like a feature. Jimmy the Large Minion Raynor was the first ban, though, coming from Avalanche. Rhaegar following up. That Bloodlust is monstrous in this competitive play. We will see something different then come out from sOaK every lane, because that's how banning works. I'm interested by the Jimmy ban. I don't think I've seen sOaK every lane play a whole lot of Raynor, but you have the information to prove me wrong there. Abathur coming out as a ban from sOaK every lane. They will not be using Locust to sOaK every lane. What's the word on sOaK every lane and Raynor?
How often they play Raynor? I'm actually looking at their ban statistics here. Let me see if I can find the Raynor.
All right.
Let's see. Raynor. They got an 87%, 85% win rate on Raynor, so
What about
definitely a target ban
Do you
there.
have a play rate? Any chance?
That's in 7 games.
Okay. Seven games out of this is week 4. Okay. Well, decent play rate. And we see sOaK coming out for Cash and Ashes on Avalanche. Counterpick, well not counterpick, but a ETC and Greymane response. Demon 13 has been playing a pretty good assassin from the games that I've seen from sOaK Every Lane. Good enough for them to, like sOaK said earlier, be the number 2 team, looking to be back on top at number 1. Joanna picked up for Avalanche. Joanna's the most popular tank in NGS right now, followed by ETC, so interesting to see them picked in the opposite order. Kel'Thas coming out for Avalanche as well, very popular mage, lots of pressure. Cat, get away from my food, I will eat you instead. That's rice, you can have the rice. Kel'Thas, lots of fire damage coming out, very good zoning, which is important here on Cursed Hollow.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Avalanche got the Johanna through the 3rd round of picks, essentially. I mean, really, I'm actually just speechless. We'll see if that comes back to bite sOaK Every Lane, or if they're just not worried about one of the best tanks right now.
Yeah, but ETC, I mean, pretty responsive in general. Just getting once ETC baits out the Condemn, there's pretty much free play on the rest of the team, barring a preemptive Iron Skin.
So Philip obviously showing that he's confident, that he doesn't need that Johanna. He wants to play the game with the big old rockin' cow. Anduin picked up here to round out the healer spot.
Yeah, well, we do have
sOaK
Farmer Anduin coming in with ETC out to graze in the pastures and Greymane there to round him up and corral the cow. Dahaka is, I believe, serves the role of Kerrigan's pet, but I'm not actually sure. I'm not too big on the lore, but he's basically an alien animal anyway. So Anduin really looking to have some good time down on the farm. Imperius and Falstad will round out the Avalanche draft. Imperius in the off lane, Falstad with easy rotations. Actually, we might see Falstad in the off lane, maybe with the global, the ability to rotate, but Imperius more likely the off laner, with Falstad able to come in clutch where needed. It's still looking for a second damage dealer from sOaK Every Lane, and it is Jaina. Really good area control here for some reason I was thinking this was Infernal Shrines for a second. But really good zoning on Cursed Hollow, especially in those choke points around the Tribunes.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing here is probably both teams, I'm imagining, will go some sort of a 1-1-3 or 1-3-1 kind of setup here. So you can see both teams have a bruiser like Dahaka and Imperius, but also somebody who can soak, like Falstad or Greymane, who can also catch a lane. Both teams have a global. So both teams, I think their drafts actually function quite similar, interestingly enough.
Yes, but the question does still hold, which draft do you think is a better one, sOaK? I'm not going to run the poll today, too many issues with the stream overall, but I do want to know who you think has overall the better draft.
I think that I like Avalanche's draft here. I'm a Johanna fan. I'm also a fan of the Falstad. I think that
Prepare yourself for battle.
I think Falstad has great boss control, and we'll see if that comes into play. So I'm thinking Avalanche wins out on draft, especially after getting Johanna in that second round.
See, I really like the synergy coming out of sOaK Every Lane, the ETCs with the Joannas, even a light bomb or something to set up the mosh. Speaking of which, we do have wipeout on Dahaka. I can't bounce it. Tornado on Joanna. Philip K on. That's going to be Anduin. Strogs is actually on Anduin, and Philip K on ETC. Demon 13 on the Greymane. That's sOaK Every Lane. What do we got over there, sOaK? Uh-oh. And
On Team Avalanche, we have Kel'Thas played by Skeptic, Imperius played by Lykeman, Johanna played by Fak Ones, sOaK played by Cash and Ashes, and Dragon Fury playing Falstad.
Alright, so the video quality has gotten a little iffy. It's steadily declined over the evening, so we'll see if this is watchable. But oh god, it's not. Let me see what I can do real quick.
All right, as Taco checks out that, we've got the Dahaka moving up to the top lane to match Imperious, and Greymane ETC looking to get a rotate on this Falstad, possibly looking for an early gank, but ETC not going to find that there. First objective will be the bottom lane, so we'll see if teams decide to play their camps around that, or if both teams opt to pick up their siege camps at the 1 minute mark, as those have spawned. Looks like Andu and Greymane instantly break off to go catch their bottom siege camp.
Good decision, getting that pressure early. Also, that siege camp will get cleared easily right before the tribute, so going ahead and getting it now, trying to get some pressure out of it to maybe establish some lane control over by that tribute is a good call, and I expect to see Avalanche wait to get their tribute, not their tribute, their siege camp when the tribute itself is getting ready to spawn. We see Greymane and Anduin going up to do the Bruiser camp. Safety in numbers, Greymane able to solo the Bruiser camp when microed properly, and having Anduin there to help will ensure this Bruiser camp goes smoothly. Tornado coming in on the Jaina, also there to help, and we see Avalanche getting their Bruiser camp as well.
Yeah, Taco actually just revealed there that he is an absolute Greymane god if he's soloing these camps at level 3.
Level 1, thank you.
I think it's impossible at level 1.
Unless they change something, I'll show you. I'll show you something. Let's
All
talk
right,
about this game.
you can show me it. I got bad info.
Oh, really?
Yeah, J-Howe said it was impossible, but he could have lied. Bruiser camp's crashing in the middle.
Bruiser camp's
not much happening except they're crashing.
Yep, Joanna coming in with the condemn, trying to make things happen, but again, Bruiser camp's just crashing. It's like watching a bad car accident, and then Joanna comes in, takes some extra damage from the Anduin, and the Greymane has to go Iron Skin to remove the slow from Jaina. That cooldown will be up in time for the tribute, and as discussed, the siege camp going to fall in time for this tribute to spawn. Should be enough time for Avalanche to rotate. They have 10 seconds to get there. They should be able to interrupt the channel. Dahaka is not on their team, so won't be able to interrupt that channel. And Jaina is spotting the team. Imperious coming up. If Anduin starts channeling now, or Greymane, someone might be able to get it at no cost. Imperious coming in, looking for the Q. There's the Falstad Q, though. That's going to disrupt the channel. There it goes. No free tribute. Condemn coming out, pushing out sOaK every lane. Avalanche in full force. Here comes the Hawk. Gets caught by a gravity lapse. Gonna have to burrow. Yeet of Faith onto a living bombed Greymane as we watch a slideshow ourselves here. The Celestial Charge from Imperious does catch the ETC and the Dahaka. Iron Skin comes out again from Joanna. The Silence zoning out Philip K from Stukov. ETC going to fall. Philip, rest in peace, my friend. Greymane tumbling away, and it looks like Avalanche will, in fact, get this first tribute. And the siege camp they got, well-timed, will be marching up in the top lane.
Yeah, to note about that siege camp, while blue teams was early, or red teams was earlier, it did get this value in this bottom lane. It took out the entirety of the bottom, the top tower of the bottom wall. So they got some good value there that they might not have. Interestingly enough.
Absolutely. Greymane coming up to clear that siege camp before they can lose any structures, but still a lot of damage put out. As we see sOaK every lane and Avalanche working hard to sOaK every lane. With a 1-1-3, sort of? Well, a 1-1-3 out of Avalanche and a 1-1-1 with Roaming, Anduin, and Greymane. I mean, they are leaders of their respective factions within the Alliance, so it kind of makes sense that they would help each other out throughout, although, I mean, if you know Greymane, I would want to hang out with them. Waiting to cap this siege camp, Greymane going to stand guard like a good dog. Anduin going ahead and rotating up to the Jaina. Jaina trying to help out ETC. Trying to get a gank on Imperious. Imperious feeling the chill in the air, though, holding back by his gate. Instead, moves up, gets slid on by the ETC. Jaina coming out. ETC that is Imperious jumping out of the way, is able to get behind his gate in time. He's going to have to sip coming into this objective if he can. It looks like he doesn't have sip available. Jaina going to go ahead and work on this tribute, and it looks like Avalanche not going to rotate up and instead contest this siege camp down in the bottom lane. That's a free tribute for sOaK every lane.
Yeah, interesting choice here. Johanna trying to gank Dahaka, one of the most ungankable heroes, ganked by the least ganky heroes in my mind. Wipeout uses his burrow, but he'll be totally fine here in the bottom lane.
Yeah,
in fact, getting really quite a bit of damage onto Johanna.
Yeah, surprisingly, Wipeout looking really low. Was gonna take a lot of damage. He must have, well, so he dragged the Johanna back into the towers, taking a little bit of damage from Falstad, but not enough. He knew he was safe. I was worried about him. As we see Kael'thas and Johanna working on their bruiser camp over here, matching bruiser camps with sOaK every lane. Imperious still trying to get pressure on Philip, but Philip K on the ETC, keeping those minions pushed in on that top lane, as they have they have about a half level lead over Avalanche. Both teams do have their heroic talents. As we're coming into this tribute, let's take a look. We have Phoenix on Kael'thas, Wrath of the Angiris on Imperious, Blessed Shield on Johanna, Flailing Swipe on Stukov, and Mighty Gust on Falstad. Matched against Ring of Frost on Jaina, Isolation on Dahaka, Light Bomb on Anduin. Here comes the fight. Ring of Frost goes out, and the Light Bomb. Imperious going to get deleted before he knows what's going on. Caught the Gravity Labs, not enough to save him. Greymane goes down to the Falstad. So does Jaina to Kael'thas, and Johanna going to finish up the Anduin. A whole lot of abilities coming out all at the same time. 3 for 1, a Death Push. The successful Death Push on Imperious then gets turned just into a burial ground, as Avalanche is just, well, I already said berries. sOaK every lane in that fight. See, there's an Avalanche berries joke in there, but I jumped the gun on it. So we
huge
have
value coming out of Kael'thas' living bomb right there.
Absolutely. The damage spread, unbelievable. Mosh Pit on EDC and Curse Bullet on Greymane to finish up the heroics. Let's look at these damage numbers. Kael'thas leading the charge against Jaina. And sOaK, if you want to give us some insight on that damage real quick.
Yeah, I think Kael'thas getting a lot. Falstad actually going for the stacking Q quest. He's looking for that late game damage, even though he's almost tied with Kael'thas at about 13.5 thousand damage. Both teams pretty equal looking on the damage board, as they're both opting to get their bosses. Teams almost actually identical on hero damage, except for the Imperious is a little sneaky with 8,000 more than the Dahaka. Wait, what? Than the Greymane, excuse me.
4,000? 5,000? 4,000.
Yeah,
Greymane,
I can't math. It's okay. Pretend I need to just math.
Gust saving, not saving what? I don't understand what just happened, but Gust came out. Ring of Frost being dodged by everybody. The Jaina going down to the Johanna, and then the Celestial Charge onto the Greymane. Greymane trying to follow in with the ETC. ETC going down. Oh my goodness, these abilities look like absolute madness at a really poor frame rate for, unfortunately, not getting the download speed that I was earlier. So really hard to watch that fight, but sOaK every lane is able to, not sOaK every lane, Avalanche is able to get that third tribute, cursing sOaK every lane. That top fort does fall for Avalanche, but the boss does take the bottom fort and is pushing in on this disabled keep due to the curse. sOaK every lane devoting their damage to the clear, as Avalanche tries to roll in the top lane, taking out the fort on top as well. So do you think Greymane's lack of damage comes from the Johanna?
I think it's because there just haven't been that many long, drawn-out engages. Greymane can do a lot of damage, but typically in the early game, he doesn't have a lot of numbers because he's there to get the pepper and then get the kill. That's my thing about how Greymane can go. But as well, like for any kind of short skirmish, the blind is gonna nullify his damage. I imagine that will change as this game goes on, especially now that he's gonna be getting those cursed bullets.
Yeah, Curse Bullet, a lot of heavy damage early on. We go ahead and see Avalanche picking up their siege camp at the end of the curse, going ahead and getting it marched, maybe in position on that keep come the next tribute unless someone like the Haka goes up and clears it ahead of time. The curse has been lifted. Siege Camp getting picked up by sOaK Every Lane as well. At this point, they're even on XP, they're down on buildings, and now they're up on a tribute because they're down on buildings from the curse. So I don't think they're really out of this game at all. They're down by kills by a good ratio. Oh, this is so hard to watch. There goes the Ring of Frost catching the Dahaka. Iron Skin comes out from the Joanna, and Imperius able to walk away with just a little bit of health. Oh my goodness, this hurts my eyes. sOaK, take it away.
Heavy investment into cooldowns from the blue team as ETC power slides in, finds the Johanna. Greymate jumps in, gets a couple of slashes, but Johanna will unstoppable her way out of this fight as both teams lose no one. Dahaka splits off to go clear the top siege camp there, but red team came out positive in that trade as they only used one ult, while the blue team used 4. Not able to find that kill on Dahaka.
sOaK, I am on your camera for a second. I'm going to see if I can make an adjustment real quick.
Sounds good. We got the blue team working on their bruiser camp, while red team does the same up here on the top side of the map. Experience nearly exactly equal, although we have a kill advantage, for Avalanche having 6 kills and sOaK Every Lane only having 1. Finding an ETC, Imperius forks him. ETC will use his boop and get out of there. Feeling real crafty, Imperius tries to use Wrath of the Angiris, but does not make a connection there. That cooldown will be down for this next objective fight here.
The tribute is spawning up in the top lane, or just below the top lane. Bruiser Camp marching in against sOaK Every Lane. They are trying to get it cleared before this tribute spawns. The Haka also leading the charge on sOaK. A whole lot of sOaK, an advantage over everybody in the game. And that's really what's keeping sOaK Every Lane in the experience game, as they're a little bit up on mercenaries. They are behind a lot on heroes, but minion and on passive structures as well. Minions really keeping them in the game. Good job to Dahaka on the sOaK for sOaK Every Lane. Condemn goes out. Flame Strike hits 3, dropping the living bomb as well due to the talent. We see the Gust come in from Falstad, and then I don't see anything else. There's the Phoenix. Condemn pulling everybody into the Phoenix after the Gust. That's going to be a 4-man, probably a mega kill coming out for Avalanche, as the Haka, trying to stay alive, gets chased out by Avalanche, gets slowed by the Punish. The tribute gets picked up. The Haka going to go down. That is a mega kill for Avalanche into sOaK Every Lane. If you have the mega kill emotes, let's go ahead and drop them.
Avalanche taking this opportunity to take out the top keep wall, as no heroes from sOaK Every Lane are back for the next 5 seconds. They're even going to get some free damage onto this keep. Possibly, there's a world in which this keep falls, and that world looks like
probably both
this one.
Worlds. Yes, Ring of Frost comes out, is going to catch the Kael'thas, chilling him out a little bit. Jaina finishing her chilling quest so that she now gets Ice Barrier. Frostbite completed. Good bonuses coming out of that. That keep falls, but Avalanche having to run away from the avalanche of ice that is Jaina. Backing off, not wanting to get caught coming into this next tribute. Tributes are tied between the teams. And
yep, looks like sOaK Every Lane's going to opt to get their boss rather than the trib.
At this point, that's probably a good call, as they can recall and go defend if there's a push onto their keep, but this boss will march to the keep, while Avalanche doing the same. So they can, both teams can actually contest this tribute while bosses are pushing. This situation slightly favors sOaK Every Lane in that after the tribute, they'll be able to rotate down and defend the boss. However, they have catapults pushing down their top lane. But the boss there to fend off Philip K, not quite able to finish the channel on the tribute. Here comes the rest of the team. Kael'thas going to go ahead and get that tribute though, and that's 2 tributes to 1. And we're going to see a stand here at this bottom keep.
Yeah, blue team looking to take down their second keep of the game.
Yeah.
ETC has been found. He's been forked. He's been rooted.
Yeet of Faith comes out to save the cow. Anduin trying to get close to his bovine friend. Here comes the boss in on the keep. Jaina taking a lot of damage from that living bomb. as the lightning strikes from the Falstad help finish off the keep. The boss pushing in into the core. That's going to have to get cleared out. The top boss takes both towers, moving in on the keep. The keep probably going to be able to fend for itself as this boss goes down without taking any core damage out with it. And the keep gonna fall to about 2/3, maybe half by the time this boss falls. Both teams rotating up to the tribute. We see the 4-man of sOaK every lane stopping near the bruiser camp and then regrouping, going up to the tribute. dHaka trying to clear before bush stalking up. Avalanche staying together in a 5-man, ready to go in on this tribute. Look for the dHaka to show up. There's the Celestial Charge and the Light Bomb on ETC to interrupt the Imperius. Imperius gonna fall. The stun combo just too much. The wind tunnel from Falstad from the side, forcing sOaK every lane to be choked out. Greymane trying to finish off the Joanna. Joanna just a little bit too much health. She stays alive. ETC trying to get a channel onto this tribute. Looks like he'll get it. That's now 2-2 on the tributes, and that's sOaK every lane's first tribute since the first one. So the Avalanche had 5 unanswered tributes now, resulting in sOaK every lane's first tribute since. If I can keep repeating that in different ways. Greymane Greymane and Anduin picking up this bruiser camp as Avalanche is coming across for this next tribute that's getting ready to spawn. They're looking for a catch, and sOaK every lane is pretty spread out.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult engage here, especially as they're not quite 20. They will have it by the time this fight starts, but blue team is set up ready. They're waiting for this here.
Yep, we see several anchors, but blue team's not all together, and sOaK every lane can collapse a little bit faster if dHaka wants to get up. So right now we do see the 4v4, now a 5v4. ETC looking for an opportunity. And there's a Flame Strike that does catch the Greymane. That's going to be a lot of extra damage with that living bomb damage as well. dHaka having to be and keep clearing. They only have 1 keep up. He wants to keep it safe, especially with that bruiser camp. So sOaK every lane trying to stall out this objective as long as possible. ETC getting caught by a Flame Strike and a Phoenix rooted in that lurking arm from the sTookov. Wrath of the NGS picks up someone else, brings it down the wind tunnel, really stopping sOaK every lane from being able to get back into this fight. dHaka catching the split up Joanna and Kael'thas. The isolation on the Kael'thas doesn't know that he's getting hit by the Chastise. He's going to go down as well. So that's a 3-for-1 so far, but Avalanche looking really low. dHaka coming in, bringing a lot of extra damage. Avalanche goes, or not Avalanche, Anduin goes down to Avalanche. dHaka getting chased out. This will be the curse for Avalanche, and that will probably finish the map.
Yeah, with 2 Katas already on the core and a mega kill now going out for Avalanche. This looks to be GG as Tornado drops GG's in the chat. Convincing game number 1 going to Avalanche there.
Good first game to Avalanche. sOaK every lane just a step behind at every opportunity, or was very much in the game every step of the way is what I meant to say. Very, very good opportunities and opportunities seized. However, Avalanche was able to snowball there at the end. Yes, that pun was intended. All right, quick rundown.
Oh, snowball, I get it.
Quick rundown of the talents while we're waiting on the next lobby. Actually, sOaK, will you take us down the level 10s and 20s?
The level 10s and 20s, sure. Kael'thas with the Phoenix got lots of value with the zoning Phoenixes and well-timed Phoenixes on top of StooKov's roots. Imperius had a couple clutch Wrath of the Angiruses. Johanna got great Blessed Shield follow-up on that. StooKov didn't really need to use his Flailing Swipe or Controlled Chaos to peel very often. His team was usually in the aggressive position there. But Falstad with lots of good gusts and a couple of really good wind tunnels to save his team and set up great kills. Jaina had Ring of Frost at 10. Didn't really find any great roots on that. dHaka had some clutch isolations to pick off some isolated targets. Anduin's Light Bomb set up quite a few the 3 kills that Red Team had, I think, were in large part because of the Anduin Light Bomb. ETC Mosh was always a threat, and the Greymane Cursed Bullet kept him dealing quite a bit of damage.
Absolutely.
Those are your.
And Avalanche coming in with the siege damage and the heroic damage overall. Between Jaina and Dahak, I feel like the siege damage goes to sOaK every lane. Kalthas leading the charts. Who would you say earns the MVP for game 1? Oh, why don't
That's
I
a good
have-
question.
There you are.
I think that the Falstad did an excellent job in soaking a lane, being in the right spot, having the global threat, and even though his level 1 was not quite the most meta talent pick, dished out found a lot of damage from that, and ultimately confirmed quite a few kills for his team.
Yes, very
almost
good
half
flanking.
the team.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I feel like Falstad deserves the MVP. Definitely really solid flanking from with those gusts, the wind tunnels, and solid damage overall, and that support with the experience. Yeah, I agree. We are going into Tomb of the Spider Queen next. Spidershire, one of my favorite maps, just because it's fun to say Spidershire. And that was picked by Avalanche. sOaK every lane opting for the first pick. Who do you think is their first pick hero, sOaK? Because that's what we talk about, right? You have to have a first pick planned.
Interesting. I would say on Spider Queen, Johanna's got to be the first pick here, I think.
Yeah. Oh, lobby's up, bud.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm in it.
Hey. What just? How did
I
I
think it's a really strong map for Johanna.
How did I left the lobby? What just happened?
I don't know.
Oh Lord. There we go. Oh man. What were you saying, Joanna? Something?
I think Johanna's a strong pick here. She's got good. There's lots of the rotation here could be scary. She's got that shield glare to be able to enlighten her team about the location of enemies. She's got great pickup. She's got great wave clear. I think she's a top pick priority on this map, or a ban. Johanna's worthy of a ban.
Yep, Joanna definitely ban worthy. She is Mrs. Moneybags on this map, usually holding a lot of gems and really hard to get them from her. I agree. Joanna should be the first pick, I think, coming out of sOaK every lane. If Joanna's banned, what's the backup? Because again, that first pick is a vital pick. Oh, Ektar coming in with the raid. Welcome to the slideshow of Avalanche versus sOaK every lane. Oh man, thanks, bud. Appreciate ya. How was the match? So yeah, who's the backup first pick?
It's Avalanche's first pick?
No.
Is that right?
sOaK has first pick.
Oh shoot, sOaK has got first pick.
sOaK
If I'm sOaK every lane. Let me think about this. I think that
You have all the time in the world except until they pick their first pick.
maybe it's Greymane. Maybe they go Greymane again here, and hope that with the smaller map, they're going to be able to get more value out of Greymane's poke and sustain damage. Those are my thoughts. Johanna and Greymane. I mean, what basic answers there, right? To say Johanna and Greymane are top priority picks.
Would you like some pumpkin spice with that?
Yeah, please. Let me just go throw on a vest.
I'll throw on a vest, get
finish
some
this
pumpkin
guy.
spice. Maybe get your purse dog.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think of like basic things people wear these days, but I was about to say masks, but please keep wearing your mask. It's not basic. It's healthy.
So, sOaK and I are very, very different people. I have more acidic taste. I like things like lemon, limes, citrus fruits, things like that. Whereas sOaK has very basic tastes, things like pumpkin spice and it's a chemistry joke, and also popular culture. All right, we are in Tomb of the Spider Queen, and Joanna being banned by the first pick. Hold up, wait a second. Mega Muffins wondering what's going on with this slideshow.
I think if my stats aren't wrong, I think this is the first time that sOaK has banned Johanna.
Really?
So Avalanche really,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Avalanche really flexing their Johanna pick here.
And we do get a shout out from chat now that Wipeout's #1 cheerleader is here. The tide's gonna be turning. So I think people are still excited despite watching the match in slideshow mode. I feel like these two teams are popular enough in general and have enough people that really enjoy watching them for as long as they've been around that we might still have some listeners.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Mephisto.
Every time I peek at that stream, wow, here we go.
What were you saying?
I'd say every time I peek over the stream, it's always like I feel like vomiting a little bit. But
hey, it's
but
not
Taco
your
has
channel.
supporters. sOaK has supporters.
Yes.
It's not, and it's not your fault.
Well, kind of.
If you're still first pick.
I chose to cast tonight. So Mephisto picked up as the first pick. Interesting. I like it. I really like it. ETC and Kael'thas coming in for Avalanche with the Joanna ban. ETC makes sense as the pick. We'll probably see a Garrosh coming in on Philip. Mal'Ganis, I should say. I misspelled Mal'Ganis. I'm sorry about that. Jimmy Large Minion Rainer coming in for Demon 13. Kael'thas was working for him, so might as well keep them working. Maestro Cats at the rate of 25. Welcome to the last game of the night for NGS. We are currently watching a slideshow between Avalanche and sOaK. If you treat it like a radio show, it will go well. You know, maybe glance at the screen every now and then, but we're trying to give you enough verbal detail that you can keep up, and I will be uploading the VOD tomorrow, and it should be a lot better quality. But thank you, King Andrew. I hope you had a great cast. Looks like you were having fun with your teams earlier today, or earlier this evening. We see
Urel and Imperious banned out.
Let the Inquisition commence.
Sonya and Whitemane picked up here for Avalanche.
I think my next emote has to be like a slide, or not a slide, a projector screen that has NGS on it, like with the logo.
That's pretty. That's very funny. I'm a supporter of that. Oh, woo! Some
Shit.
spice.
What? Put a little spice in that drink. That's the truth. And Deckard Payne coming out. Green Army Deckard Payne. Come here, Rhaegar. Oh no, go away, Rhaegar. I forgot there's such a thing called a podcast. So it's not like a radio show, it's like a podcast. I really should get with the times. But yeah, so this internet situation's super awesome. As we see, waiting on the last pick for, there it is, Zul'jin coming in to round out Avalanche's comp as we go into the trade phase of the draft. Leading into Game 2, Avalanche versus sOaK, sponsored by Microsoft PowerPoint.
A couple of facts about this draft. This is the first time. First time Zul'jin has been played by Avalanche this season. Second time Chen for sOaK. Last time resulted in a win. We'll see if they can use this Chen value if sOaK can use this Chen value to come back and tie up this season. Or tie up this series, excuse me, on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Yeah, I mean, Wipeout's a good offlaner, and Chin is really strong and impressive. And I'm just not sure how he plays into this team. I like the Deckard, I like the Mephisto, but I like the ETC KT combo as well. So this will be interesting for sure, and it wouldn't be NGS if it wasn't interesting. So over here on Avalanche, we have I Like Men on Varian, ETC on ETC, Cash and Ashes on Kael'Thas, Skeptic on Kael'Thas, Fashion Ashes on Whitemane, my bad. Dragon Fury on Zul'jin, that is Avalanche. Who we got over there on sOaK every lane?
sOaK every lane, trying to even up this game, has Raynor, played by Demon13, Wipeout playing Chen, Strogs playing Deckard, Philip K on Mal'Ganis, and Mephisto played by Tornado.
That is like absolute ear destruction.
Sorry. F's in the chat for everybody's ears.
Mephisto taking the first strike out there, shades in, goes to the Lightning Nova. Kael'Thas responds with the... I can't even look at this thing, I'm sorry.
What's going on?
Flame strike. Oh, the game itself is lagging a little bit for me right now too.
Oh.
So there's a lot of things happening, but nothing's really happening at the same time. A bunch of people pressing a bunch of buttons, trying to zone each other out, and since both teams are zoning each other out, none of the zoning is actually zoning, and damage numbers are basically 0. Yup.
Mal'Ganis on a horse is a very scary hero here.
Absolutely. Mal'Ganis after that channel though, able to put you to sleep. Also really scary, but gets bumped back by the EDC. Power slide through the shaded Mephisto and the Mal'Ganis to the right side, to the proper side of them. EDC wanting to be with his herd. He does not want to be caught on the wrong side of a Mal'Ganis. We do have the 1v1 of Sonya and Chen down in the bottom lane. With the 4v4 here in the mid lane, Mephisto shading into the lane from the turn-in side. Tries to get out that extra damage. And but both teams just kind of trying to rotate, get their XP. Mal'Ganis trying to cause a little bit of disruption. Not really. Oh, there isolates the ETC. ETC getting beat up on Jimmy Large Minion Raynor, also running out, catches a potion from Deckard Kane, and both teams go back to soaking.
Mal'Ganis looking so strong here. I love this play on Tomb of the Spider Queen, just making sure that the other team cannot rotate. So much value as he just stuns, slows, sleeps, and gets out.
Yeah, very aggressive but safe play from Mal'Ganis at the same time, and that's not a horse, that's like a lion or a Krillin or something. But close enough. Mal'Ganis mounted. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And there's another catch on the EDC. EDC on the wrong side of Mal'Ganis a lot. Mephisto jumping in. He launched out that Skull Missile. Gets it reset pretty quick with that Lightning Nova. And throws it again before he gets teleported back to his shade. EDC with the slide through the Mal'Ganis and the Raynor Demon trying to get out. Deckard Payne with the Scroll of Sealing trying to catch ETC. ETC dodges it just in time. He gets out on the right side of that barbed wire back to greener pastures. Slides into the Raynor. Raynor trying to turn in his gems. He's got 11 of them. That makes him a target. The Root catches ETC. Who does get out. Living Bomb spreads from Demon to Tornado. Mephisto not happy about it, sends an electrified skull through the enemy minions to express his anger. And neither team able to get objective yet. However, now sOaK every lane does have enough, looking for an opportunity to turn in. They need everybody to turn in, as nobody just has one gen. So everyone will need to turn in to accomplish this objective until people pick up.
While experience counts are almost equal, it's important to note here that sOaK every lane's rotation denial has netted them about 15 to 20 extra gems over Team Avalanche.
Which is really interesting, where XP usually is the Philip K getting slid through by ETC, then gets gravity lapsed, slowed down by the Whitemane's, I forget what her W was called, Inquisition, is able to get out just in time. Successful save, I believe, with the help of Deckard. Mal'Ganis able to get away with his life. But yeah, the gems are almost more important than the XP at this point, until we get into a little bit later where each of those levels matters that much more, and talents also become an issue. And it's working out for them really well.
It really is. There is Mal'Ganis again, looking to see anyone other than ETC who's rotating through here unsafely.
Mephisto does jump in, gets a little bit of lightning Nova damage off, boosting Zul'jin's DPS when he does decide to start attacking, and jumps back to his shade. The Web Weaver's coming in, and Avalanche wants to defend their top lane, so it looks like sOaK Every Lane will go to the middle lane to push. Never mind, make a butt out of me as they rotate up and then rotate down, and then they can't decide where they want to go. But sOaK Every Lane resting on the middle lane, trying to push it through. Chin and Sonya still going at it in the bot lane, both with quite a few gems. Top lane Web Weaver does go down. Mid Web Weaver less than half health, going to go down shortly, leaving the bottom one to fend for itself as Chin gets pushed back by Sonya. Sonya doing very well, staying alive in enemy minions because that's how Whirlwind works. And Chin just trying to keep up. But Chin also down on the gem count as well because Sonya effectively proxy farming.
Yeah, I wish I had a telestrator right now to draw a line here because Mal'Ganis' line of scrimmage has moved up so much with this mid wall being down that he now has a lot more free territory.
Note to self, we should do that at some point. I don't know how it would work with the overlays, but I'm sure we can make that work. Both teams looking for
I have one on my stream.
You what? You do have one?
I figured out how to do it. We can talk about it after stream. Yep.
Nice. sOaK Every Lane. Almost enough gems to turn in again. A double turn in here with the Web Weavers is very impactful. Oftentimes will solidify a game early on. Big root over down here at the siege camp. Sonya gets caught by the root. Chin able to finish off the ETC as well. The siege camp goes to sOaK Every Lane as Avalanche drops several gems. No longer able to turn in. It went from 80 to 35. We see the Wandering Keg come out from Chin as they do have their heroic talent tier. Talent tier is the saltiest. As they push out Avalanche and they get a 4-man turn in and Philip on Mal'Ganis up at the top. A very synchronized turn in going from 0 to 55. That is double Web Weavers. Now Avalanche has had a little bit of time to clear out the push, but these Web Weavers are going to be huge coming in for sOaK Every Lane. sOaK Every Lane showing that they really do want to be in this match and they want to go to a game 3, which means they want to torture everybody watching the slideshow. Maybe slideshows are coming back.
Slideshow's coming back, baby. The resurgence.
Absolutely. We do have a 4v5 up here at the top lane. Chin pushing bot for sOaK Every Lane. And sOaK Every Lane rotating their 4-man down to the middle lane as the 5-man of Avalanche is wiping out this top Web Weaver, which is stuttering in like a rubber band because this internet is absolutely garbage. Mal'Ganis catching the rotation, trying to get some harass out. ETC still at full health though. Kael'thas's the only one really missing health. ETC finishes Prog Rock. Again, that's 20 health globes on the cow. Able to now heal his friends when he uses Prog Rock, when he uses guitar solo as well. And all the Web Weavers at the bottom one go down. The first building of the game goes down. That is the bottom fort, Chin and the Web Weaver. Really a story for the ages. If you haven't read Chin and the Web Weaver, you really should find it at your local library and check it out. Chin and the Web Weaver, just a dream duo going up against the world. They do take out that bottom fort, and both teams seem to be regrouping in the top lane.
Props to blue team on the defense here, only losing one structure off the back of a double turn in. Well played on their part.
Absolutely. This mid fort getting ready to fall. It is at about half health. sOaK Every Lane looking for that opportunity, and Avalanche looking for their opportunity to get back in. They have the gems again. They need to hold on to them unless they're dropping them in the turn in. You want to take them to the bank and not the back alley. So other than this turn in, which is obvious, what does Avalanche need to do, sOaK?
They've secured themselves this bruiser camp, very smart, what's going to allow the lane to push, give them a little bit more vision and safety while they turn in what looks to be bottom. They do need to clear this bottom lane though as this continues to push out. That will become an issue.
Kael'thas has 23 gems and he only needs to turn in one of them. Kael'thas is going to be a huge target even after he turns in with 22 gems. sOaK Every Lane going to be looking to take him out. Avalanche needs to keep the Kael'thas protected through this objective if they want to hold a semblance of an advantage coming out of it. Sonya getting rooted by Deckard Kane. There goes the shade. There goes the stay a while and listen. Hyperion comes out from Raynor. And we see a Wandering Keg as well. Everything except for Carrion Swarm getting used on sOaK Every Lane side. But Leap and Divine Reckoning are the only things dropped by Avalanche. So they're in a good spot despite being down by a little bit of XP for that level 13 talent. They're looking for an opportunity to turn in at every moment. And they kind of have the advantage if you look at the team fights.
Speaking of team fights.
Go.
Oh shoot, sorry. So we got everything's happening. Kael'thas's getting huge value on this living bomb here as it's spread all over the red team. Whitemane does fall first, but Chen is going to fall to the Raynor. Or Chen falls and the Raynor falls, and Whitemane and Zul'jin go down to Raynor though before he does fall. We got a 2-for-2 trade here. Big Durance of Hate on the ETC. ETC's power slides out and will escape. Blue team is still not able to turn in.
There it is. Kael'thas getting it. Sorry, you said speaking of team fights, I thought you were going to roll with it. And Mal'Ganis picking up the ETC under the fort. Mal'Ganis taking a lot of damage, gets held down by the ETC and the Kael'thas, the power slide and the gravity lapse. A lot of stun time. Mal'Ganis going to fall. Kill count still 4-3 in favor of sOaK Every Lane. But they're looking at a face full of web weavers coming in man down. Let's look at those heroic talents real quick while these web weavers push. We have Phoenix, Divine Reckoning, Tazdingo, Mosh Pit, and Leap for Avalanche as Mephisto jumps in, trying to get some harass on the web weavers and the enemy. sOaK Every Lane pushing out Avalanche a little bit. They regroup, come back in. We see the root onto the Mephisto. Durance of Hate goes out. It looks like it doesn't. Oh, it got interrupted. And Tornado not quite able to get out. The damage from the Phoenix able to push him over the edge. At least I think it was Phoenix. That was a little bit of a frame rate lag. It might have been a living bomb. And the top web weaver goes down. Everybody rotates down to the middle lane. Big push from Avalanche onto the middle lane. As Root goes out on the ETC, not going to do much there. The fort does fall. Avalanche looking really strong coming out of this objective, despite having a rough start. The heroics for sOaK Every Lane are Durance of Hate, Carrion Swarm, Stay a While, Listen, Wandering Keg, and Hyperion. I'm all caught up. What were we saying, sOaK?
The Avalanche in this objective has now taken a structure lead and a slight experience lead. What took the red team 2 objectives to do, blue team did it in 1, and now they have another turn possible for 2 in a row.
That's an absolute double turn in. There's no way that this is going to get interrupted, and here it comes. sOaK Every Lane gets 2 of the lanes pushed out, at least to the midway point. So they may be able to defend this fairly well, and we see Avalanche looking to take out the top lane first because that is the boss lane and also the only lane that has the fort available to take. There's the Divine Reckoning on top of the root. We hear the leap go out from Sonya. Mephisto trying to get some extra Lightning Nova damage in. Mal'Ganis with the Fell Claws coming in as well to disrupt. There goes the sleep. Looks like he's going to get a 3-man sleep. Stay a While and Listen does get interrupted. Phoenix goes out. Root on top of the Phoenix. Tazdingo from the Zul'jin. He's going to start going nutters with those axes. Instead, he's going to run away as sOaK Every Lane not close enough to be attacked. Good disengage by both teams. No one's going to die, but sOaK Every Lane does have 3 ultimates available.
Yeah, huge fight where Avalanche used every ultimate they had there to keep ETC alive and then to keep themselves all alive as sOaK Every Lane was pushing it down.
And everything available for sOaK Every Lane. So coming out of this objective, while they're down in structure, sOaK Every Lane might be able to make something happen. They do have the XP lead again. Everyone on the same talent tiers. But sOaK Every Lane with the level advantage. Looks like they have the damage advantage as well. They're pushing Avalanche out. Avalanche not wanting to stay and pick that fight. sOaK Every Lane able to turn in if they can force Avalanche to stay away.
Yeah, we'll see if this next turn could be a big swing back into sOaK Every Lane's favor. Mal'Ganis puts his gems in and Raynor does as well, so this, what is this, 4th objective will go in favor of sOaK Every Lane.
Yes, this is sOaK eVeRy's third turn-in. So they do lead by
Oh,
one
shoot.
on the turn-ins. Webweaver's coming in, and sOaK eVeRy trying to make a push on this fort. Philip K a little bit too far out, gets caught by the root, gets taken down by the fort, and now we suddenly have a 5v4 with Webweavers. sOaK eVeRy deciding, let's go help one of our other Webweavers while Avalanche destroys the one here in the top lane.
Really good CC chaining coming out of both of these teams. I've been very impressed at their ability to hold their cooldowns to make sure that they're being used in a way that will secure kill or advantage in a team fight.
Absolutely,
So well
especially
played.
because coming out a lot of these exchanges, it looks like they're coming out on the downside of it, but having those resources available is really working out for them, and they're getting the pressure back where they need it. They doesn't look like they'll get this fort, but they're definitely reestablishing map control. And if we look at gems possessed, where are they? There they are. Both teams in a really good spot. Neither team able to get a turn-in right off the bat with this objective. But Tazdingo being used by the Zul'jin, and the Wandering Keg comes out from Jhin. Mephisto able to follow the Zul'jin, pops over, wipes him out just in time as Tazdingo finishes. And sOaK eVeRy sitting in a comfy spot.
Yeah, they'll even go to start this boss. Even in full vision of Avalanche.
Absolutely. They are not alone. They are not afraid. They are taking out this boss, going to get it to walk down the top lane, for sure take out this top fort, and maybe even get some keep pressure here 16, 17 minutes in at level 19. Bruiser Camp marching for Avalanche. They go up to defend against the boss, and I would expect to see sOaK eVeRy, if they don't push with this with the man advantage, go get their Bruiser Camp.
Yeah,
There
Lane's
goes the
looking
Durance
pretty
of
scary
Hate.
here.
It catches
oh,
the ETC. Followed up by the Lightning Nova. Divine Reckoning put out to try to help keep her team alive from the white main. Flame Strike comes out from Kael'thas. It's going to be behind the boss in front of the enemy team. Tornado jumping in. Gets rooted by Zul'jin. And it's still rooted when he gets back to his shade. Lots of attack damage coming out from the Zul'jin. He is almost done with both of his quests. Still needs a kill on Deckard Cain to finish Headhunter. And that boss is going to fall after taking out the tower and the gate for that keep.
Yep, blue team now looking to get 20s. They'll get it quickly, and then they're going to see if they can secure themselves the turn-in. Get these lanes pushed back
Yep, Rainer and Mephisto,
somewhat towards the middle.
Rainer and Mephisto picking up the Bruiser Camp for their team as Deckard, Chin, and Mal'Ganis are trying to set up for turn-in here at this bottom objective. They have turned in everything. Mephisto or Rainer needs to pick up one more gem real quick to make this a fluid turn-in, but Avalanche showing up in the bot lane. Carrion Storm comes out from Mal'Ganis. He's going to chase him out, splitting up. The front line is on the wrong side of Mal'Ganis, while the back line being chased by Mal'Ganis. Here comes the Wandering Keg, keeping them split. ETC going to fall from the Durance and the Lightning Nova. Sonya jumping out over the wall. Zul'jin falls as well. Mal'Ganis really disrupted there. Jimmy the Large Minion Rainer able to finish off Zul'jin. Bullets work better than axes. It's 2020. Zul'jin, get with the program, you troll. As Rainer and Mephisto come to finish this turn-in with one extra gem. Math is hard. 4 extra gems. 9 extra?
some number of extra gems.
Some extra gems. That is 14 extra gems. Holy cow. Not ETC, but I don't know what's happening anymore.
Red team with a strong turn-in here. These web weavers will get pushed very close to blue keeps. Red team's looking to get keeps or kills and then possibly end.
I officially no longer like Spidershire. It involves too much math on the fly.
There you go.
Look at the amount of gems on Sonya, though. Criminy. 45 gyms. No wonder she leapt out of there trying to get away, trying to keep her gym count up. So if they do survive this Web Weaver phase, they'll have a lot to turn in. Big root onto Mal'Ganis from the Zul'jin. Zul'jin popping his Amani Rage, getting a lot of damage out on Philip K. That keep is going to fall to the Web Weaver. Web Weaver putting out the damage, but Zul'jin knocking her down real fast. The rest of the Web Weaver's looking low. They do lose health periodically or gradually over time, so that is to be expected. This mid keep doesn't look like it's going to fall. This bottom keep does go down as we go over to look at it. Journeys of Hate dodged by the entirety of Avalanche. And Chen trying to finish off this this keep up here. But that keep going to stand for now. Catapult or middle lane advantage stays equal as sOaK Every Lane now has the top and bottom lane advantage with both of those keeps down.
Yep, they Avalanche looking really vulnerable here. sOaK Every Lane is got the power to step up.
So how does Avalanche get back, sOaK?
I think first of all they don't die here. Red team's shown they're very scary in these corners. I think that ETC needs to look for a clutch mosh if he can find it, but
Journeys of Hate back online.
If they need to.
Hyperion about to be online. That Wandering Keg just got used by the Chin. They were not able to get the separation that they wanted, and Avalanche definitely getting the separation they want from sOaK Every Lane. They rotate around. They're going to get that turn in. Looks like they were spotted by the Catapult. And Torch jumping in, getting the disrupt on the turn in. 87 gyms not getting turned in. Mephisto going to die for that. It might be worth it though. A big silence from, or a big sleep from Deckard Payne. Hyperion goes out over the top. Sony going to fall. That's a lot of gyms gone. They do get picked up by ETC, however. Zul'jin finishes his auto attack quest. Deckard Payne still needs to die if he wants to finish his Headhunter. Wipeout, walking over that Flame Strike, not going to take the damage. Zul'jin hunting down the Raynor. Not able to get him finished. Raynor staying alive with the Q for the knockback in the Wandering Keg. The stuns from Philip. So much CC out onto the Zul'jin. Everyone except for Mephisto stays alive. Mephisto staying alive for that delay. Good guy Mephisto. Your songs will be sung forever, except you're a horde of evil demon from hell, so who knows. Deckard Cain also very much staying alive, looking out for Deckard Cain's life. Probably the biggest priority right now, as Chin getting caught out at the turn-in is able to get away from 3 of them. Deckard Cain, if he dies near Zul'jin, Zul'jin will finish that quest, and that's extra range and damage that Avalanche probably at this point desperately needs to get.
I would say it's desperate, as we have a boss that is walking now towards this exposed core.
Into Blue Web Weavers, though.
That's true, but Blue Web Weavers can fall to a 23-minute boss. This is still very much core threat, as the red team could just bypass this keep and just go start wailing on a core.
Absolutely. And here it goes right now. It is at about a quarter health. That boss is going to fall without dealing any core damage, but that middle keep does fall for Avalanche. So no defense for the core for Avalanche anymore other than themselves, as sOaK Every Lane does have all 3 keeps up. Despite losing those 2 forts early, they did take the first fort of the game, and we've seen that really be a trend lately in these higher levels of play, where that first fort really does lead to a big advantage overall. But this game has been very much back and forth. sOaK Every Lane hanging in, and right now in the advantage, Avalanche hanging in during their disadvantageous times, not losing any heart. It looks like they're trying to make a play here with their Web Weaver. So both teams showing up strongly. Looks like sOaK Every Lane trying to go into the core, looking for the back door. Avalanche backing. They are down a level, but both teams do have Storm Talents. We see the Mimic coming out from the Mephisto. There's the root onto Mephisto as well. Leap from Sonya, and Whitemane going to get the kill on Mephisto. sOaK Every Lane going to have to retreat. B-Med in the chat, go sOaK Every Lane. B-Med, welcome to the slideshow of Avalanche versus sOaK Every Lane. Looks like it's camp time. And turn-in time? No. Ooh. So Avalanche showing mid as they're coming in to invade this bruiser camp, which sOaK LaNe seeing them decides not to do the bruiser camp. Mal'Ganis is getting chased out by the Sonya, and Avalanche might take this bruiser camp. Let's see if we get a counter.
Yeah, possibly
engage.
a huge wing.
That's a big pressure change. That's a power move right there.
Yeah, they need to make something happen quick, though, because we have catapults on the core now.
And sOaK LaNe, all they need to do is stall and they win. Or
Yeah.
Avalanche goes back. If they don't go back as a group, then that's an unbalanced fight that sOaK LaNe should still win. So Avalanche needing to turn in and retreat. They need to clear out that core and not get caught short anybody. A Q comes out from the Zul'jin, dismounting Mal'Ganis, making him much less of a threat. And both teams just trying to throw out some area stuff to slow down the enemy, whether the chase or the retreat. Using the Phoenix to go ahead and work on this bruiser camp, it looks like. So bruiser camps being exchanged by both teams, but on the wrong side of the map. Leaving Whirlwind coming out for Sonya. She's going to get slept, though. She's caught on the wrong side. Mephisto trying to put out some heavy damage, but both teams end up back with the rest of their fold away from each other, disengaging. And it looks like sOaK LaNe really is going with that passive play right now, trying to let the lanes do the work, and Avalanche trying to get a foothold.
Avalanche now has enough for a turn-in. They need to find an angle where they can put threat on turning in and possibly find a kill as well. Boss will be up in a minute, so if they could get a turn-in and a boss together, that'd be a huge play, or maybe even a turn-in to push these lanes and then get a boss on the backside of the turn-in. Red team also knows that's the win condition, so they're defending this turn-in. ETC
on the wrong side of Mal'Ganis, or Mal'Ganis on the wrong side of ETC. There goes a zoning mosh pit at the choke point of the turn. Endurance of Hate comes out. ETC able to dodge it, canceling the mosh in time. Mal'Ganis sleeping KT and the Zul'jin coming out of that carry-on swarm, improved at level 20. Phoenix and Divine Reckoning go out, pulling in the Mal'Ganis, stopping him from catching up to Avalanche. There goes the sleep, catching the Sonya, though. Sonya going to Whirlwind away after she wakes up. And both teams kind of blink walking around on my screen as everything is going wrong with the internet. And Chen trying to shield up. It looks like sOaK LaNe looking to make a push right here for the win right now.
Yeah, they got catapults bottom, they got catapults mid, and they got catapults top. Chen caught rooted in the bottom lane, but he will unstoppable his way out. Looks like red team says we'll just take the boss, and we'll push and end with that. So that should be there should be a final fight here up on this boss that will decide this game.
Avalanche does
Maybe
have enough
not.
to turn in. They may go that route, though. Sonya coming up. Looks like Sonya and ETC coming in for the zone. Kel'Thas not far behind. There goes the zoning Hyperion, trying to keep Avalanche out. The boss at about half health, and both teams decide to fight each other instead. Boss goes to reset. That's a soft win for Avalanche right there, stopping the boss. Lots of damage going out. ETC gets gravity. They're on the same team. And Mal'Ganis and Raynor going down. It looks like Mephisto will as well. That's a 3-for-0 to Avalanche. Avalanche pushing in strong now in this 5v2. Decker Kane, still enough health to stay alive. Zul'jin just can't catch a break when it comes to Headhunter. But again, he's a troll, so I mean, And now Avalanche looking to take the boss. And Chin and Decker don't have the damage to backdoor the core, especially with KT on defense.
That's true. Decker Kane surviving there is huge for that Zul'jin not getting his Headhunter stacks, as well as being able here to provide a lot more support here.
Yep.
Two heroes are twice as strong as one.
Absolutely. And you know, they say it's better to be on defense than stuck in the gate, so.
Yeah, that is true.
Ewok,
Boss pushing this top lane.
yeah, this boss coming in. Ewok Thor, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the slideshow as well. Hope you're enjoying your PowerPoint revisit. Yeah, there's words there. Boss coming in. Everybody is up again though. sOaK every lane trying to take out this boss. The blue web weavers are marching. This is going to be a big defense for sOaK every lane if they can hold on to it and take us into a game 3. Boss takes out the Helton, pushing in for the keep. Boss at half health. There goes the Lord NATO trying to keep the Rainer away so the boss can get out a little bit more damage. Mimic damage coming out from towards NATO on Mephisto. And the root from Decker Kane not going to catch anybody on the enemy team. The keep goes down. Web Weavers are all actually landed and walking. So they're going to have ways to push. They're going to lose a lot of health. These Web Weavers aren't going to get much damage out at all, but they will push out the lanes for the zoning.
Yeah, it's huge. This game will be pretty much equal. Building's still in favor of the red team, but the lanes now pushed very far up.
Yep, we do
giving Avalanche a second wind.
We do have the 5-man for Avalanche in the middle lane. The 5-man for sOaK every lane was in the top. They're rotating down. Chin on a flank though, coming in from the side. Wandering Keg knocks Sonya and Kalthos into the enemy team with a big sleep coming from Deckard Kane on the Stay a While and Listen. Everybody then wakes up from something. Torch bringing in the damage. Kalthos going to go down. There's the mosh, 3-man mosh. But everyone's asleep because of the carry-on swarm. Deckard Kane going to go down. There's the headhunter for Zul'jin. Zul'jin considering it a win now. He goes unkillable with Tazdingo. Going to heal up a lot, but then get taken down by the Mephisto. Zul'jin breathing a sigh of relief, having at least finished all of his quests. That is a moral victory for Zul'jin. As Whitemane, the only one left alive for Avalanche, and sOaK every lane trying to finish it off, trying to go for the mega kill, the ace, the wipe, and never mind, giving up on that, letting Whitemane live as the 3-man Mephisto, Chin, and Mal'Ganis come into the core, trying to take that victory lap and finish off the core, and catapulting us to game 3.
Wow, Chen killing Kalthos there really was the nail in the coffin. If Kalthos is alive, that fight would have swung the other direction.
Kalthos is alive now, putting out a lot of defense. This core now taking damage, but looks like sOaK every lane is going to get pushed out as the enemy starts respawning. They were staggered a little bit, and sOaK every lane does have to back off. They do not have much of their damage, just the Mephisto, who is a lot of damage. But look at these health bars. ETC catches Philip. No, he doesn't. There's a flame strike to finish him off. Mal'Ganis saw the light, and it was fire. Kalthos going down.
Suddenly, this is a 5v4.
Yes. They get their bruiser camp. It's going to push out. And so far, anything can still happen in this game. Oh my goodness, levels 26 to just about to be 26, 33 minutes into this game. Oh my Lanta, what is happening? Endurance of Hate goes out. It's going to catch the Kalthos. It's not going to spread to anybody. Tornado jumps in on the shade. Root catches ETC. This keep looks like it might be about to fall. The Stay a While and Listen going to prevent Avalanche from turning back in on the keep. And Deckard going to stop telling his story. It looks like Sonya got caught a little bit by a sleep, going to spin away. The twin cleave to help zone off sOaK every lane from the Sonya follow.
Oh my gosh, the Winions are going to do it. There's no way blue team gets back in time.
The Bruiser camp marches into the mid lane. Catapults, that's 5 catapults and bruisers on the core. Holy crap, sOaK. You know what we got?
Game 3, baby.
We've got a game 3.
Part 3 of the slideshow.
Part like 7. Holy crap. Oh man, what a game.
It's pretty late
I
here.
love it. Yeah, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I hope one of these teams cheeses.
Like a
I'm
Juice
so
Pirates or
sleepy.
something.
No, faster than Juice Pirates.
Yeah. So we got Phoenix,
Like,
Divine
protect the
Reckoning.
hammer.
The what? The hammer?
Nothing. No. Yeah, just, you call it.
Phoenix, Divine Reckoning,
That's
Tazdingo, Mosh Pit, and Leap into Endurance of Hate, Carry on Swarm, Stay a While, and Listen, Wandering Keg, and Hyperion. Oh my goodness, what a game. Oh man. Plenty of back and forth on both teams. What? Oh, I mean, I don't think that either team really made any crucial mistakes. It was just the zoning, the defenses, the way the team fights ended up falling. Not that I could see if there were any mistakes with the frame rates that I'm dealing with, but they the both teams just executed really well. But the team fights and who was left alive, one, made it hard for sOaK Every Lane to finish, but two, didn't leave Avalanche in a position to get any push. So look at these damage numbers. Look, Kael'thas with 340,000 siege damage, which are like Ragnaros numbers. So, sOaK, you got an MVP?
I gotta give it to, I think Wipeout on Chen set up a lot of strong kills, was able to really well follow up on Mal'Gannis's CCs, and really when he killed Kael'thas in that team fight, I mean the white main ETC combo with the Sonya Leap was so strong, but there was no AoE damage to follow up because Chen had killed the Kael'thas. That moment secured Chen as my MVP for that game.
Strokes throwing back to when we called their match boring because of all the zoning. Saying good enough TV.
That's funny.
Ooh, we are going to Battlefield of Eternity. So let's adjust that. Battlefield of Eternity looks like that was picked by sOaK Every Lane. Trying to get into it here. Let's go to this screen. sOaK, is that a denim hat?
No, it's just brown.
Oh, okay.
It's hideous. It's hideous. My wife hates it, and I don't really like it either. But
So why are you wearing it? Because I have a quarantine cut.
no, well, no, it's just like it takes. I have a lot of hair, and so if I have to hide my hair,
Yeah.
like I have to, like I either hide it or do it, and I'm not wanting to do it today. Now that it's flipping 1:30 in the morning, I just want to go to sleep.
You said you were ready for this.
I was ready for it. I didn't expect a 35-minute Tomb of the Spider Queen game. Because I choke on my water.
I don't think anybody was ready for a 35-minute Tomb of the Spider Queen. My internet wasn't ready for Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Yeah, this crazy game. That was a very exciting. For as long as the game was, it was very exciting.
Absolutely. Pretty good nonstop action. Lots of macro done really well. And to think the Bruiser Camp, I didn't think that Bruiser Camp was going to do anything, but the Bruiser Camp able to escort in 5 catapults for the win. What just the power move. It's like, you know what, we're gonna fight you down here, and we've soaked every lane enough that these lanes are gonna push you in.
You know, Bruiser Camp really was MVP of that game. When they were taking it,
Bruiser Camp
Avalanche had
MVP.
5 up. Well, I mean, Avalanche had 5 up. sOaK Every Lane had 4. Avalanche decided to clear a different lane rather than contesting that camp. And I was thinking, like, oh, they should fight here because they have an advantage. And then I thought, nah, it's not going to matter. It's just the Bruiser. They'll just clear it. But because they never cleared it, that Bruiser just said, well, I guess we just go win, get upgraded.
Yeah.
I mean, the history is that once Jim Raynor was a Bruiser Camp, but he took out a core solo, and he got upgraded to be an actual fighter in the Nexus. And I think that Bruiser is actually going to be the next hero.
We've seen it happen before. On Braxton's Holdout, there are those Fire Bats, and I think at one point the Fire Bats led the charge with the Zerg Wave for Winions to take the core, and that one of those Fire Bats, we know him as Blaze, is now a hero in the Nexus.
You know what? There you go. The Bruiser Blaze. That's perfect.
So do you think we'll see one of those? It's not the Sand Giants, the Bruisers. The Bruisers there are on Tomb. It's the I don't know what hero we can get out of one of those, but I guess we could. I mean, who'd have thought we'd get like a Blaze hero just out of a random fire bat? So maybe we'll see. We'll have to write a letter to Blizzard. And looks like we're waiting on one member from each team. Are we gonna see any subs? Also, Torch on the wrong side. So it looks like we're waiting on 2 people for Avalanche. And we do have everybody, couple people in the wrong places. There we go, everybody there. And I think we're ready to get this show on the road. Can we all just agree never to do a game that long again? And now they're talking about laning for 40 minutes. So how do you feel about 40 minutes of laning?
I will be honest, if this game goes longer than 17 minutes, I might just leave. These 2 teams, I mean, Avalanche capable of excellent play, SEL the same, and I want to know how the series ends, but I gotta go to bed.
But you'll find out tomorrow.
I'll have to watch the VOD, just like the rest of these people who are
Just
here
like
for the
everybody
slideshow.
else has to watch the VOD. Alright, looks like we're getting ready to go into Battlefield of Eternity. Oh, no. Let's try that again. Battlefield of Eternity. Aw, 3rd time's the charm.
Yeah, for context, sOaK LaNe was saying that Taco and I said their last game that we casted was boring. It wasn't boring. It was just long and methodical.
And very
every
low
time
kill.
every time they play Tomb, this was a high kill game, but every time they play Tomb that I've seen, they play it long and methodical, and they play Tomb so well that if you want to play Tomb, watch how they do it, but be ready for long games.
And slideshows.
Well, if you're coming to Taco's channel tonight, hope you're ready for that.
Yeah,
ETX.
the internet issue will be fixed next time I stream. Don't worry. It's just a matter of finding the right provider for it. Yeah, we're in temporary housing in the middle of our move, and there were a lot of matches not cast tonight. And I was like, I have a modem that I can plug into here. No. Oh. Rhaegar
Verizon,
coming out.
if you're listening.
Actually, this isn't Verizon. I wish we had FiOS here. I would love Verizon FiOS. And I thought, you did. Mega Muffins in the chat. You'd think you'd pick a map that you could install forever. Yeah, no, I thought the internet provider that I had back where I came from was bad, like poor service and whatever. But turns out garbage service with successful internet is a lot better than no connection. So interesting bans.
This is true.
Amateur opponent makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, interesting first bans on the healers. The second bans make sense for both teams. So Avalanche took first pick. What do you think we're gonna see? Joanna.
You can make your silly noises, but I think Johanna was a linchpin in their comp game 1. I would be surprised. But do they want to let a racer through? That's true. Li Ming is a good pick here. Good all-around pick and good on this map.
Well, I mean, don't I also normally say if you're going first pick, you're looking for something like Joanna anyway? Like, I'm making fun of me too, but it's just...
That's true. I just making fun of the meta.
It's just our default answer. And the Mal'Ganis comes back. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Mal'Ganis gonna sit on his horse and do nothing all game. Let's go.
I stand ready.
She played a lot more aggressive Mal'Ganis that game. Vala coming in with the race. Demon 13. Greymane picking up the other end of that race. Leaving Greymane. Reset City. Here we go. Joanna as well. There it is. Just a little bit on a lag. Kind of like my life right now. So already a solid power 3 coming out for Avalanche. That draft looks painful. And
Yeah,
I don't know what sOaK LaNe can do with the draft, with their draft, to make me like to make me not like Avalanche's draft more. What were you saying?
I was gonna say those are like my 3 of my favorite heroes to play, and also 3 of my favorite heroes to have on the same team. I mean, just such. I think it's just such a powerful combo there.
Oh, do you multi-box? Is that what happens? You just play all 3
What's
together?
that mean?
Where you like?
Oh yeah,
play...
I wish.
Yeah.
I just have like 3 keyboards and mice, and I'm just.
Well, so multi-boxing is where you're running the game multiple instances on the same computer, but you have your keybind set. So, I mean, a lot of people do it for like Arena 2s and WoW, where they take their 2 heroes in and just with the same mouse clicks and keyboard clicks, they would have the spells set up where they comboed it the way they wanted to.
That's absurd.
Absolutely.
I've never thought of that, and I don't do that. Please don't ban me, Blizzard.
And Sonya and Yrel getting banned. I'm not sure how I feel about a Yrel here in Battlefield of Eternity, but Kael'thas coming out for the Torch NATO, and Deckard Payne coming in for Strokes. Love the Deckard play. Really solid hero all around. Imperius coming back out for I Like Men. And, yeah. How do we say Joanna's player's name?
Faquans.
Faquans? That'll work. Who
I
is
think
going
I
to
have
finish
no
up?
idea.
Whitemane going to finish up the draft for Avalanche.
Oh, that's spicy, man. I like their draft. I don't usually like White
You
Man.
sound
but
so
seeing
out
how
of it. I love it.
I'm just super tired.
No, I know.
You know, I don't usually like White Man, but last game I was really impressed with the use of that Divine Reckoning. The displacement at 20 and the damage that it provides is very strong.
Samuro
Ooh.
coming out for sOaK LaNe and not on their Samuro player. That is interesting. I want to know from chat, people that know, has Wipeout been practicing Samuro recently?
Who's their Samuro player?
B-Man. Usually.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. But he's not
He
in.
is not playing today.
Probably wanting to be asleep.
No.
Interesting. Strong drafts. Both teams can execute. Both teams could get the win here. It's really a best of 1 now on Battlefield of Eternity.
Absolutely.
At
It is
1:30 in the
sudden
morning.
death. Each core only has 1 life. Both teams looking for the win. He who conquers will take the claim. And there it is. In the chat, B-Man, wow, Wipeout. I'm so mad. Poggers.
Prepare yourselves for battle, heroes.
Well, here we go.
B-Man, I taught Wipeout everything he knows. All right, let me run down sOaK LaNe real quick. We have Wipeout on Samuro, Philip on Mal'Ganis, Torch NATO, Pretend I Bounced the R's on Kael'thas, Demon 13 on Vala, and Strokes on Deckard Payne. Take it away, sOaK.
4-team Avalanche looking to stop the reverse sweep. We have I Like Men playing Imperius, Cash and Ashes on Whitemane, Faquans on Johanna, Dragon Fury playing Greymane, and Skeptic on Liming.
All right. And we get our standard 4-man in the bot lane with Samuro and Imperius in the top lane. And no one doing anything yet. Oh, we got some graffiti artists here as Faquans and Skeptic come in spraying the ground with their spray paint. And looks, I heard an extra one. And Philip joining the little rebel up there, showing where he is in the bush.
Mal'Ganis giving away his positioning for the spray. Gotta love it. Commitment.
Commitment to the arts, really.
True.
Not enough appreciation.
Just showing that this is a friendly match between 2 teams.
Yeah, how is Samuro and Imperius doing up there, sOaK?
Imperius taking some damage. Wipeout also taking some damage. They are doing smacky, sorty, slashy, stabby things.
That sounds about right. And down here in the 4-man, a lot of the same. Turns out my download speed has gotten a lot better. It's not really that laggy right now, so we might have a very smooth game 3 on the VOD. As Avalanche looking to get this siege camp pretty early. Greymane doing it on his own. Get some help from Liming now and the Whitemane. Joanna anchoring. Good anchor. Catches all of sOaK every lane. Rotating down. Here comes Root from Decker Page. Is going to catch two of them. Mal'Ganis blinded, but able to start his sleep spell. Catches Joanna, but that's it. Going to back off. Say, never mind. I wanted that puppy. Not going to get it back. And they go back to the lane. sOaK going to push for Avalanche and get cleared out fairly quickly from sOaK every lane.
Skeptic looking to get some free damage on this well or wall possibly here. Had second thoughts and changed their mind.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of standard LaNe play right now. Try to get the damage that you can from off to the side. I'm going over the level 1 talents real quick for those of you at home. Hopefully y'all don't miss them. I should probably hover over them a little bit longer. Avalanche first to hit level 4. sOaK every lane not far behind. We're looking for these objectives to pop right now.
I will reach your position shortly.
Both teams getting their bruiser camps. You know, excellent job on Avalanche recognizing the ability to get that camp on the bottom. Well played on their part for finding that little bit of value they can eke out. We're seeing the red team prepare immediately just to defend.
Looking for a catch
And blue
on
team also
Imperious.
defends. A little bit of a skirmish up here as Imperious stabs the Mal'Ganis. Mal'Ganis getting quite low. Walla coming in with lots of damage going out. But now she's got to run from Greymane, who's in Worgen form. Switches to human to get that last shot and will miss it as she gets a heal from Decker Kane. But the Mal'Ganis falls to the Imperious Spirius. Johanna stepping up, looking to get back onto this Vala. Condemn goes out. Punish does not quite connect, but Imperious grabs the CC. It's now with no tank. Blue team's gonna get some free damage in on the Red Immortal.
Good defense from Avalanche, able to push out sOaK every lane, and now they push halftime instead. And sOaK every lane trying to regroup. No one's dead yet. Again, earlier we had the Mal'Ganis get caught, but everyone at full strength coming into the second half of the objective. Mal'Ganis looking to get a catch, and we see Imperious get caught, and Joanna trying to disrupt successfully. Orbs from LaNe trying to provide some extra side damage as well. sOaK every lane sends off Samro to work on the Immortal while the rest of them defend. And they might be able to make some progress, at least weaken that shield ahead of time.
Philip escapes with 60 HP. Lives to fight another day, but this first Immortal, with about 60% shield, will be heading top lane for Avalanche. Samuro's completed his Way of Illusion quest at level 1. LaNe not going for Calamity, but rather for the Seeker build here, so focusing heavily on the damage of her magic missiles.
That magic missiles they do hurt when you get them focused, especially with that Seeker talent at level 7. His Immortal pushing into the top lane. Might get a little bit of pressure onto the fort, but looks like since the shield is gone and it is in melee range, it will fall fairly quickly now. Condemn onto Vala and the Joanna, and by Joanna I mean Mal'Ganis, trying to disrupt their damage on the Immortal. Immortal going to take out a little bit more than half of the fort, and go down. Both teams, or Avalanche backs off. They rotate around. Both teams looking to get this this siege camp up here at the top, and it looks like Avalanche making the power move in on them as Mal'Ganis is trying to sleep around the back line. sOaK every lane backing off because sOaK every lane's back line is in danger of the advancing 3-man from Avalanche.
Greymane will pick up this camp.
Yep, quite handily.
Excellent
Once
work.
everybody was zoned off, Greymane able to just go to town on those goatmen. Who gets your goatmen? That's what I want to know.
Who gets your goat?
Yep.
All right. These spear throwers are going to get quite close to this fort. Looks like blue team is pushing for it. They want to get this structure advantage here. Minions and heroes doing a good job soaking up lots of damage as the fort is protected.
Samuro contests for the appearance down in the bottom lane for this siege camp as the as both 4-mans try to push, or are in the top lane. One trying to push out sOaK every lane's fort, and the other one trying to defend the fort. I'll let you guess as to which 4-man is which. And Greymane jumping in, taking out the fort as Deckard and Vala had both backed and started doing the bruiser camp coming into this next objective. This next immortal phase coming up. We are at level 9s. Both teams looking to get level 10s at some point during this. Probably will most likely have someone soaking. That bruiser camp going to be capped and start pushing for sOaK every lane. They do want to stall here to get bruiser camp value and get that level. However, Avalanche will have faster passive XP going in because they had that structure down. So more than likely, Avalanche going to hit level 10 first. And Avalanche does force a halftime for the Immortal. So
Shout out to Imperius in the bottom lane earlier, getting the kill on Samuro.
Oh, I completely missed that. Thank you. And that is the second kill of the game.
Tens come out for the blue team in immediate engagement as Deckard Cain gets on the wrong end of a Li Ming disintegrate beam.
Yeah, both teams now with level 10s as Avalanche trying to force this Immortal. sOaK every lane does come in to try to disrupt. Kel'Thas getting caught by the Condemned. The Angelic Armaments on the Imperius goes out. The shield gets worn down, though he's not going to get to shoot it. Kel'Thas does fall, however. Joanna really sticking to him. And Avalanche looks like they'll finish up this Immortal quite handily. Samuro trying to get some damage out onto the Immortal as well. Get the shield whittled down a little bit ahead of time. While that Immortal's spawning, we have Angelic Armaments, Divine Reckoning, Blessed Shield, Go for the Throat, and Disintegrate into Phoenix, Reign of Vengeance, Lornado, Dark Conversion, and Illusion Master.
While blue team gets this Immortal, it was very expensive in that they lost their top fort to a bruiser camp during that objective battle phase.
Yes, that bruiser camp did a lot of work as we kind of thought it would. It did get ignored, so they traded that fort for the Immortal, which will effectively be a fort-for-fort trade. As sOaK every lane zones out Avalanche, they're not going to be able to follow up the Immortal. The Immortal goes down, doesn't get the fort, so not a trade there. However, they do stop. They don't have an Immortal marching against them, so tomato potato, right? As sOaK every lane
It is true.
regrouping, Samuro going to go up, get this clear. Might be enough to kind of catch up, at least on level, maybe not fully on XP. Let's take a look at that XP real quick while we can. Again, sOaK every lane still looking for their first hero kill, but as long as you get the core kill, the hero kills don't matter.
Yep. You're exactly right. Bruiser camp being taken, not the most opportune time, but time is better than no time.
Yeah,
Will not be up for the next objective.
It won't, but it looks like they're trying to get the XP out of it for the cap, and also they're just trying to push this fort right now and get that passive XP instead. And that fort does go down. The bruiser camp does have the opportunity to walk towards that keep, so forcing a sOaK every lane response here relatively soon. Demon catching finishing up that siege camp up top, while the rest of sOaK every lane does rotate down. They'll regroup here at this keep gate. On opposite sides of the gate, they're kind of split up, but never mind, they group up in the danger zone as Avalanche looking for the siege camp, not trying to push into that keep, have the lane advantage, but that siege camp up top going to force some pressure, so Avalanche making the right decision, goes ahead, falls away from the bottom lane, goes up top to get rid of the siege camp so it's not pushing. sOaK every lane.
Both teams clearing the other's camps.
Yep. sOaK every lane looking like they're going to try to push this forward. No, never mind. They're going to start attacking, hopefully, right here. They know where Avalanche is. They can get some free damage off. Instead, we see Mal'Ganis sitting on his mount in a bush. Because that's how good tanks play good tanks. And Avalanche looking
talent here.
yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely. Avalanche looking to attack with that talent tier advantage, about a whole level of XP, but sOaK every lane about to get those level 13s. So that advantage will go away, but Avalanche been playing more aggressive at the Immortals, so sOaK every lane looking for this defense. Have you ever wondered why the Immortals are attacking each other the whole time but do no damage?
I think it's a game mechanic. Otherwise, it would be pretty lame.
I mean, yeah, once you get the advantage, then stall out, I guess. There goes the Laser Beam, also the Phoenix and the Divine Reckoning. Greymane going to fall first for Avalanche. Philip K looking real low, gets the Dark Conversion off onto Imperius. Imperius gets his shield up, but it goes away almost immediately. Imperius going to get dissolved by the illusions of Samuro, and I'm sorry, I didn't even get to see that, so folks in chat, I imagine y'all couldn't see anything but dead portraits pop up. Mal'Ganis getting a sleep onto Whitemane, and Kael'thas following it up. Whitemane getting, or not Whitemane, Li Ming rather, getting really low, gets the spell armor from her Q, able to stay alive, and probably an extra heal popped off from Whitemane as well to keep Li Ming alive. So 2 kills to 4 sOaK every lane out of that. I think that was all out of that fight. Yeah, Greymane and Imperius. So having the difference in the kill count and putting a lot of pressure onto the Immortals coming in the second half. Kael'thas going to fall real quick to the Laser Beam and the Imperius. Vala finishing her Hungering Arrow quest. Li Ming going with the reset, going to finish off the Samuro. And Greymane still has go for the throat up through those 2 kills. Did not use it either time. And Li Ming has her ult back up because of the reset there. But look at this top lane. It's got a couple catapults pushing in to the keep. And Avalanche going to win the race again for the Immortal. So that Immortal won't march bot for sOaK every lane. Instead, it will march top for Avalanche, and that is the defense they need for that top lane.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Again, though, they need to respond to these 2 catapults because it's going to get some good work on this keep wall.
Absolutely.
Greymane will respond.
Wins before me. I will bring down the gates of hell.
And Immortal walking into the top keep. sOaK every lane trying to get the defense going. They got a 4-man defense. Samuro trying to get to the rest of the team. Wipeout really trying to bring the pressure with those clones. Not able to really get in at the moment, though. You see Immortal wiping up that front wall and tower. Is going to fall before it really gets any keep damage. But Li Ming going to pepper it a little bit on her own. Defensive condemn against the Samuro. As Avalanche backing off, going to get camps, and it looks like sOaK every lane is going to do something very similar. Oh, instead, Avalanche rotating into the enemy Bruiser camp, a feigned retreat to come in and catch the Samuro on the Bruiser camp. That Bruiser camp is going to go over to Avalanche at the cost of no lives, but a good invade coming from Avalanche. Good shot calling right there.
Just zoning out, knowing that they have that 16 talent tier advantage. Looks like they'll also be free to send Greymane to get the top camp, and they probably could get the bottom if they tried as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like instead they're going to go for that keep damage. Camps come back, but keeps do not. Fun fact, but here's the storm.
That is true. 3-man condemn onto Mal'Ganis and some squishies. And blind onto Decker K, not able to know where to throw his potions as Li Ming melts him down. We see the reset on the laser getting used, trying to harass the Vala out. The Dark Conversion on Imperius, going to heal Mal'Ganis up, but not enough. Whitemane going to finish him off. Greymane going down to the Samuro, though. Kael'thas going to fall as well. This keep about to go down in a 4v2 now after that fight. 9-3 is the kill count. Avalanche up by a level. Both teams on the same talent. As the Immortals getting ready to spawn again, Avalanche methodically working their way towards the end of this game and the end of this match.
Yeah, totally. Good 3-for-1 trade on their part in kills. As Deckard Cain is now back up, but it looks like halftime very easily goes to Avalanche. No surprise there. Will they get the Bruiser Camp? And the MVP of the series, Bruiser Camp's here. Looks like they'll pick one up.
Yeah, and these Bruiser Camps, or this Bruiser Camp might make the difference in the match. Maybe, no, they're gonna ignore. Yeah, they're gonna ignore it. Looking to see what sOaK LaNe does. sOaK LaNe goes for the defense. Kind of makes sense when your Immortals at half. And we, let's see. I can't tell. There's Greymane going in on Vala. Vala gonna fall real quick. Greymane not too far behind. Blood for blood while in defense of the Immortal. Potions going out everywhere. There's the root. Mal'Ganis going to fall. Dark Conversion on the Imperius. Going to take a lot of health away. But Imperius staying up. And it looks like a solid finish onto the Immortal. And Avalanche looking to take this full health and shielded Immortal in through the bottom lane. Probably for the core. I like, man, looking really low. The Lordnado pulling Imperius back in. Imperius trying to stay alive. No health, no mana. Imperius goes down. That's a 2-for-2 overall on the objective. That's a staggered death for Avalanche. sOaK LaNe going to have the advantage coming into this defense, other than the fact that they're defending against the Immortal. If they can take out the Immortal here, they might be able to stagger some more kills. And I think that's what they need.
Yeah, shout out to Wipeout there, getting that revenge kill on Imperius. Samuro.
Well, I've been told that one does not simply kill Wipeout.
It's true. Samuro coming and getting that revenge kill there. And possibly that kill could be the turning point where now it's a 5v4 in favor of sOaK LaNe.
Alright, they need to get this Immortal down though before it takes the keep. Attack one's taking some extra damage, kind of flaunting the health bar. And Li Ming getting those orbs in. That keep is going to fall. Samuro going up for the defense. It is a 5v4. Imperius is alive now, but Kael'thas running away from the laser beam. Lordnado for the zoning. Really good use of the Lordnado and the roots to prevent follow-up on the Kael'thas. And the Immortal attacking the core and breaks through the shield. 5% damage done onto the core. And both teams at full strength, although Avalanche at level 20s and sOaK LaNe not.
Yeah, it looks like they'll deny this Bruiser Camp here. Or maybe it'll get tons of value, we'll see, but definitely looking for the denial take.
Yep, that will march up through the open top lane, which is pretty well pushed. I mean, both lanes pushed into sOaK LaNe.
Yeah, it's on SEL really here to find a play and make it. They're going to want to have 20 before they do. So Samuro being tasked with a dangerous job of being out in the world.
He does fortunately have his own friends that he carries with him, so he can get away if he needs to.
Looks like Red Team will look at the top camp, but back away without vision. They're rightfully frightened of the blue team. But interestingly, the blue team's getting this Bruiser Camp. Red Team now will be responding to the bottom siege. Well, blue, Avalanche is going to go take this camp, and they're going to paint the whole map blue.
Well, we do know the value of the Bruiser Camps, and I feel like Avalanche painting the entire map blue is a little bit better for them than painting the whole town red. So, good decision making on their part. They're regrouping for this Immortal. Looks like they're going to set up to defend first. That's a little iffy. I'm not sure I like it. But we'll
Red
see
Team
what
did
happens.
just get their own 20 level 20s talents.
That is true. sOaK LaNe with their 20 is going to scroll over those real quick. Hopefully y'all can see them.
But this Li Ming's just getting free poke. They need to be careful that they don't let this go on for too long, as there's a camp on top. Li Ming's getting bottom. There's catapults on the bottom as well.
There is stuff everywhere pushing into sOaK every lane, and they can't afford to stall. There's a big engage. Condemn goes out with Greymane jumping in. Vala and Kel'Thuz's going to get immediately deleted. Lornado trying to get that separation. The Dark Conversion out onto Imperius. Mal'Ganis healing up a lot from that. Lots of damage going out onto Imperius because of that. Although Mal'Ganis at about 300 health gets a sleep on everybody that matters for it, and he looks like he'll be able to get away just fine. And Avalanche going to push in on this core. The shield is gone thanks to those catapults already. GG's going out. So it looks like a congratulations to Avalanche preventing the reverse sweep and securing this match. And that's right, I can't type GG into that.
Yeah, to note there, that Johanna just had a perfect snap decision saying, they're clumped, they're squishy, they have no protection, they can die. And they did. Really, really, really good shot calling by the tank there for Quans.
MVP of the match.
Man, it's tough because Imperius saved his whole team in that last fight with his level 20 upgrade to angelic armaments. That Heavenly Host shield really was what allowed, I think it was Li Ming and Whitemane to survive the Samuro damage. But Johanna really was able to clinch for him there. But Li Ming found so much value from her Q build. I don't know. I think all of Avalanche deserves MVP that game. Just really well coordinated game. SEL, then this is the number 2 team, and Avalanche said we're about to make some changes.
Yeah, absolutely. They came ready to play. sOaK every lane playing really well as well, but Avalanche definitely turning the tide, really, really shifting the snow onto sOaK every lane. All right, I will see you in lobby 1. We'll knock out this interview so you can go to bed.
Sounds good.
All right.
Oh my gosh. What a long series this has been.
Yep, but a good one. All right, looks like we are getting I Like Men.
What's up, boys?
Hey, congratulations. Y'all prevented the reverse sweep, if not by much, but you prevented it. The really back and forth game for game 3. Game 2, oh my Lanta, and game 1 pretty decisive on Avalanche's part. How does the team feel right now?
We are very much hyped up right now. Like I'd give credit to my damage right now. Like they really did carry us as I'm the bruiser main and we have fake ones as a tank main, but like our damage really went through and they were really hyped up with that victory.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal play on Team Reset during Game 3 with Greymane and Li Ming. It worked out really well. I thought there were several fights where Mal'Ganis got the jump on you guys, and y'all just turned it around phenomenally. It was really fun to watch overall, and we really we had no idea how anything was going to go once things started going back and forth. So, who's the shot caller on the team?
It's between generally if I'm on like a very dive heavy person, I'll be like yelling, "Hey, go in on this!" But it's generally up to the tank or I'd say Brian, who is our Dragon Fury, who generally plays like the gray main, the dive heavy characters, and he just says, "Go in on this person." We just go in on that.
Okay, so he'll target call, for instance, in a fight.
It really depends on who we're playing.
Okay.
Like whoever's playing the dive heavy character.
Okay. Well, and if everybody's comfortable in that role, in that shot calling, target calling role, that's good. Having that type of dynamic and the chemistry in the team working well. Game 1, what even was game 1? It was so long ago. Cursed Hollow. Jeez. Y'all took Y'all took 5 tributes in a row. Y'all missed the first one and the 7th one. Y'all took 2 through 6. And just had a really strong advantage in there. At what point was there? At what point? Maybe I feel like there was a part where SEL kind of came back in Cursed Hollow. That game felt more decisive as long ago as it was. But during Cursed Hollow, was there a point in the game where you were like, "Hey, we got to get our stuff together if we're going to close this game out"? Do you remember
I
that
think
far
it was
back?
we were level 12, they were 13, and we were just like, hey, we're behind. We really gotta start getting in on this because we were trying to take advantage of. They weren't committed. We felt like they weren't committing as much to the tributes as they maybe should have. And like the first tribute we gave, like we made the mistake before where I tried to delay and the 4 push, but we just went along with. Well, we're just learning from our mistakes.
Okay. The second game, oh my Lanta. So towards
Second game.
towards the end of the second game, there was a point where y'all invaded the Bruiser camp and pushed them out and took it. And I commented on how that was just a big power move right there. Just like, I think y'all had the opportunity to go boss. I think y'all were on the back foot at that moment, and y'all got the Bruiser camp and said, you know what, we're still in this game, we're playing this game. And then a little bit later they traded and got your Bruiser camp. Those Bruiser camps all got cleared out. But was there in game 2, did any of y'all think that there was a point in the game that y'all could have closed out and y'all didn't, or something like that? What made the difference in game 2 that pushed us to game 3?
What made the difference in game 2 was personally, I felt it was the sleeps from the Malganises because it kind of really interrupted our engages, especially along with the Deckard. It really just hurt us a lot. And they were on point with us trying to turn in, and they would just try to stop us every time. The silent sleeps were just really messing us up.
Yeah.
That's about it. At the end, we kind of messed up because I started back as Sonya in the middle of the lane, and they turned around to try to save me. I was like, no, don't save me.
Yeah, that you had a lot of gems on Sonya, and I didn't notice it till after it seemed like randomly ulted away from the enemy team over a wall. It was like, and then I looked, it's like he's protecting gems. You were Miss Moneybags in that game.
Yes. Against the Chen, I thought I'd win harder against the Chen personally.
Oh yeah.
But
well, it looked like you were doing really well into him, especially early on. You were effectively proxy farming into him because that's how you stay alive, is hitting minions and stuff. So.
But yeah, we knew Tomb was one of their favored maps, and we were going into it kind of apprehensive, like we're kind of on their home field advantage there.
Yeah. sOaK, do you have anything from game 1 or 2?
Yeah, actually, I'd like to give a shout out to Dragon Fury with the Gus from him in game 1. That really solidified our victory there.
Yes, those Gus we actually named Falstad
really well
MVP
with the
for game
Imperious
1.
Q, then our damage just going off on him.
Yeah, we definitely thought Falstad MVP in game 1. sOaK, did you have any questions for game 1 or 2 before we talk about game 3?
Yeah, from game 1 specifically, you guys had a really strong CC chain. Was that something you were drafting for, specifically in this game, or do you just always make sure you bring CC to every
We
match?
really like the CC because we've seen we play a lot of games together where we just have a taunt variant and a bunch of slows, but we really like the hard CC where they just don't have the option to do anything. That's just coming from us. We just like that personally.
It made for really decisive fights in game 1, and it was really fun. Like the Falstad combo into the Kael'thas and everything just dying was quite excellent.
Yeah, we just wanted to enable the Kael'thas.
Yeah, it definitely was a good draft to do that, and it felt like that's what your plan was, and you executed well on that. In game 2, so I've watched sOaK LaNe play 2 with the Spider Queen twice, and both times felt very familiar. What kind of preparation did you do for the series? Did you do lots of scouting? Not very much, or what was that
That's
process like?
actually the scouting generally goes to our healer, Cash and Ashes. He does a lot of the scouting, looks up what they play, what they do. He watches their replays. He does a lot of the work for our team. Not only is he a great healer, but he does a lot of the work, and we watch it with him. He points out what they play and what we should ban. And like you saw, we were target banning them very hard with the Rhaegar, with the Rainer.
Yeah.
Well, it worked out for you. I mean, game 1 it worked out. Game 2, you played it well. It really was played well. I think by both teams, and those team fights just kind of the result. Not even the team fights themselves, but the aftermath of the team fights just seemed to tip in favor of sOaK LaNe. So coming out of that into game 3, what was kind of like the halftime locker room speech type of a thing? How did y'all regroup coming out of that into game 3? What was the mindset? What was the kind of turning point for you guys?
We weren't honestly too upset because we had 2 great games going into that. Even though we lost the second game, we just felt we were still in this. Like felt evenly matched against sOaK LaNe, and we knew that as we can do it as a team. We showed that we could do it first game. We just did a few oopsies the second game, and that was about it. We just went right into it.
All right. sOaK, game 3.
Yeah, game 3 is a question maybe a little selfish, but I think people, if anyone's watching the VOD or in the audience, would like to hear this as well. How as a team do you guys decide when to attack and when to defend an Immortal?
We felt that honestly, with Skeptic on Li Ming, he is a very, very talented Li Ming, and we just wanted him to poke it out until they got impatient and went in on us. And that was kind of like our go-to from there. And Faquans and I would just take advantage of the DPS being greedy off that.
Okay.
And like Dragon Fury would dive in on Greymane, and I would follow suit with try to land the Q on them. And our healer would just keep us alive because he's an amazing healer, Ash and Ashes.
Well, it worked out for you really well.
Yeah, that was definitely exactly how the last fight went there, of Li Ming just getting all this free poke, and they said, okay, we have to respond, and then your team just said, okay, now you just die, and then you guys won the game.
Yeah, we were really thrown off by the Melganis ult the first time we engaged when they got their 10s, when he went the swap health ult.
Yeah, Dark Conversion can be a real bitch to play against.
Yeah, that threw us off completely. We're just like, oh my god, what?
Yeah, and well, it kept wearing you down real far, but Whitemane just on top of it, and I would see almost your entire health bar be yellow, that you were at half health just fine, like no big deal. And I guess some of that comes from the armor you get off of your E as well, being able to pop that defensively, I think. There was something I had thought about for just a second with that game 3. But overall, it was played really well. Stoic, do you have anything for game 3? Anything else, I mean?
No, I think it was just good objective control, and so I'm glad you gave us some insight there. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. You have a wonderful.
So before we get to your shout-outs real quick, let's get a couple of getting to know you questions. Who is your favorite character in this Blizzard universe, or these Blizzard universes?
In the Blizzard universes?
Mm-hmm.
That definitely has to be Imperius.
Imperius? All right. Well, he's already a hero, so that's helpful.
Yeah, he's just I just love it. Like, he doesn't have Blizzard hasn't gone too far into his lore, but he's just a very cocky guy, and I really like him. He suits my playstyle.
All right, cool. What's your favorite or not TV, movie series? Movie series being 3 movies or more.
Oh, movie series? That would definitely Lord of the Rings.
All right. If you were to be a character from Lord of the Rings, which character do you think you most closely identify to?
Oof. My teammates are telling me to say Murky, but no, it'd be Samwell.
Samwise
Samwell
Gamgee?
Gamgee.
All right.
Yeah.
He is the true hero of that story. So, and you are the true hero of your own story. So that works out pretty well. um Well, thank you so much for answering a couple of my ridiculous questions. I know everyone's trying to get to bed. So, real quick, let's get your shout-outs.
I'm just gonna honestly shout out my team of Fake One, Skeptic, Dragon Fury, and Cash and Ash as just being great team players, and I love being friends with them and playing games with them.
Well, nothing like that team respect. Anyone else? Anybody else? No worries.
One last person, our buddy Tito, he's helped us out with getting back into this game and knowing the meta, and he's really shown us like how to build characters, how to play the game.
Well,
Also our buddy,
fantastic.
also our buddy Jake, he's just a great friend of ours, and both Jakes, they'll know from the stream.
All right. Well, great. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Have a good night. It's getting late for most of us, so enjoy, celebrate with the team. Don't celebrate too hard, and we look forward to the rest of the season.
Yep, you guys have a wonderful night.
All right, you too.
Have a good night. Good luck.
All right, sOaK. I'm not gonna keep you very long. Just one last question for you. Overall MVP of the match.
Ooh, good question. I think we got to give it to. Did Skeptic play the Falstad?
Yes.
Sure, let's give it to Skeptic then. That's my answer. Final answer. I'm done.
Yeah. I believe Skeptic was the Falstad. I'm gonna say Cash and Ashes on heals. Really good job healing, keeping the team alive in most of the situations. But overall, great match, and I'm glad you were here for it with me. And I am glad to be able to send you off so that you can get the rest I know you so dearly want.
Yep.
All right.
I'm actually gonna jump off.
Yep. Have a good night, man. Audience.
Yep. See ya. Bye.
Thank you so much for hanging out. Real glad to have you. The VOD will be up later so you can come back and actually watch the matches and not just watch a slideshow. I really appreciate you being here. Have a good night. Thank you so much. GG's. I'll see you in the Nexus.